What if we told you 896 million people around the world struggle to live with $1.9 per day, meaning 1 in 9 people, and that over a quarter of the world's undernourished people live in sub-Saharan Africa? Almost 1 in 4 people in this region is chronically hungry. And the worst part of it is that the Earth produces enough food for each of its 7 billion people to have the suggested number of calories per day. But factors that contribute to hunger include lack of freedom, access, and income. So let's start with what is hunger. Hunger is defined as the uneasy or painful sensation caused by one of food craving appetite. In medicine is equal to malnutrition. There are two types of hunger. The first one is PEM, protein energy malnutrition, which means lack of calories and protein. Protein is necessary for provision of essential amino acids, development and maintenance of muscles growth. The second one is micronutrient deficiency, a lack of vitamins and minerals required in small amounts by the body for proper growth and development. But what factors are related with hunger? First, poverty is the main cause of hunger. Second, malnourishment. Children don't just need food, they need the appropriate amount of nutrients to be able to grow and develop the right way. For example, 20% of the energy our brain uses come from food. If a child doesn't have enough energy, the brain works slower, and the child starts to fall behind in school because it's difficult to concentrate. Third, food insecurity, not knowing if you are going to have enough food in the future. Climate changes, armed conflict, harmful economic systems, and lack of food and agricultural policy leads farmers to leave the land they farm. The country starts to depend on imported food, making prices higher and less accessible to every citizen. And that's when people aren't able to have the right amount of nutrients to have a healthy life. What happens with all these people? Short term effects. First, compromised immune system. Second, malnourishment. Third, weight loss. Fourth, developmental delays. And long term effects. First, limited stunted bone growth. Second, delays in cognitive development. Third, micronutrient deficiencies. Fourth, chemical imbalances in the brain. Fifth, reduces fertility and puts at risk mother during and after pregnancy. Now we're going to talk about two important cases in the world. The first one is Nigeria. 70% of this country lives below the poverty line, and northern Nigeria suffers the world's third highest level of chronic undernutrition among children. To be precise, 33.7% of population. This silent crisis is caused by lack of access to safe water and sanitation, rising food insecurity, the disruption of basic services due to conflict, and poor knowledge of healthy feeding practices for infants and young children. 50,000 children could die from malnutrition unless they receive immediate help.
The second one is Colombia. In Colombia, 11.4% of the population suffer from hunger. In the past year, extreme poverty has decreased from 10.1 to 8.4%. The most affected area in Colombia is called La Guajira. In La Guajira, they suffer from a drastic climate change, and when the drought comes, it increases the rate of malnourishment. To be precise, this rate is 11%, and in kids below 5 years is 3%. There are several myths about hunger, but in this video we're only gonna name 9. The first one is global hunger is getting worse. It's actually getting better. While in the past 20 years 805 million people lived without enough food, the percentage of those who lived in extreme poverty has been cut in half. The second one is AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis are worse problems than hunger. Although these 3 diseases are terrible and deserve a lot of attention, hunger kills more than all of the 3 combined. It's estimated that at least 6,000 people die every day from hunger and hunger-related causes. The third one is hunger looks like a skinny kid. Not always. Generally, malnourished children have bloated, swelling stomach, and this is caused by kwashiorkor, a form of severe protein deficiency. Worms and proteins might have a similar effect. Without the proper diet of vitamins and proteins, the body may look just fine on the outside, but on the inside, organs begin to malfunction and stop. The fourth one is we should be teaching people how to farm, not just giving them food. A malnourished person has neither energy or time to grow a successful crop. They need food immediately. But once it is provided and they are physically able, they can learn how to self sustain from farming. The fifth one, the biggest needs happen during disasters like hurricanes and earthquakes. Emergencies only make 8% of the world hungry, and it is true that relief work is crucial, but it should cover more than short term relief and also contribute to long term development. The sixth one is famines are unpredictable. New technology, scientists, and economists has made it possible to predict famines with their early warning systems. The seventh one is global hunger is an impossible problem to solve. If smallpox can be eradicated, so can hunger. We just got to keep on trying. The eighth one is global hunger is an easy problem to solve. Hunger doesn't come alone. It is connected to other problems including corruption, environmental issues, farming, history, psychology, and more. It is not just a matter of giving food to the hungry. The problem must be solved from every aspect. The ninth one is there's nothing I can do about it. This is a time where there are more opportunities to volunteer, donate, and advocate online for the poor and hungry. Each of us can help and contribute. It doesn't matter if you're not famous, rich, or influential. How can you solve this problem? Here are some solutions we found. The first one is sustainable food. Educate people so they can produce their own land so they can have a supply of food for themselves. The second one, access to credit. This way they can start an industry and combat hunger. The third one, food donations. Even though it's not a long-term solution, by donating food, you help them while they get to same sustainable food. The fourth one is transitioning. Organizations encourage families that have been sustained for a long time by food to be self-sufficient. The fifth one is urban farming. This way a lot of families that live in the urban can control their food source. The sixth one, access to education. This means more opportunities to work and to get income. That's why it is important to supply food in schools for children. The seventh one is government intervention. Government needs to take an action on this issue. The ninth one is empowering women. Because of gender inequalities, women can't grow crops or do any agricultural work, but what if it's changed? Population could farm more land. The tenth one is birth control education. If poor people have more children than they can raise and feed, hunger rate is going to raise. That's why we need contraceptives. So we ask you, what will you do with $2? Donate now and help the world. Stop wasting food. Let's share.